Because I've struggled so long to get to the point of closure, how do I just get myself to completely cut them off and tell myself if they were for me, they would be with me? How do I just do that? I've dug a hole for myself of trying really hard. I've portrayed myself to them as someone who's really not worthy. I've let myself down in front of them. How do I let go of all of that? You don't. It's really hard to let go of an investment that you thought was going to lead you to these big rewards, and now all of a sudden it's like you just need to stop investing because this investment is a loss. Like, how do I just make sense of that? Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Beyond Words with me, Najwa Zebian. I've always been a firm believer in the power of words to heal what they didn't break and to break what they had no right in breaking. And today's episode is all about closure. I know we often talk about it, but there's something about what I'm about to say today that I just know is going to change your life in some way, because thinking about closure in this way has changed my life. If it was for you, it would be with you. If it was for you, it would be with you. The person that you think you missed out on, the job that you think you lost, the friendship, the connection that you think, oh, that was the thing for me. If it was for you, it would be with you. There's something about losing hope that something that we really wanted to work out didn't work out, that leaves us feeling helpless. It plays on our own self-esteem. It says, well, you didn't get that person, that thing, that connection, because there's something about you that didn't deserve it or didn't deserve them. And so you think the only relief that you could have is if you actually get that person or get that thing. But when it's over and there's no longer any kind of hope for you to remedy the negative self-talk, to remedy the negative self-image that you have, you fall into depression. And you think the only explanation that you could come up with is that that person was really meant to be in your life, but they were taken away from you. You know, when we say things like right person, wrong time, and we apply it to everything else in our lives, well, that was the right opportunity for me, but it was the wrong time. I wasn't ready, or they weren't ready for me. We say things like that to avoid the truth that is hitting us right in the face, that says, actually, wrong person, regardless of the time. If they were the right person, it would always be the right time. It can't be that it was the right opportunity for you, but it was at the wrong time, because the timing is part of the opportunity being the right one for you. Does that make sense? If you're listening to me, I want you to say it out loud, yes or no. And if your answer is no, it'll be yes by the end of the episode, I'm sure. Sometimes we tell ourselves the lie that it was the wrong time, to give ourselves hope in our mind and in our soul that says it could still work out. Because if the timing is right, if I change myself enough to be worthy of that thing working out, then maybe it could. And so we run on the fuel of hope. We run on the fuel of, I haven't really gotten my closure. I don't know the real reason that thing didn't work out. I don't know that real reason why that relationship didn't work out. I don't know the real reason. You do know the real reason, but you just don't want to believe it. Because when you live in a lie that says reality could be different had you been different, had you tried harder, had you changed yourself in this way or that way, then that thing could still be yours. That person could still be in your life. It's easier to live in the lie that says, if you had tried harder, it would have worked out. If the timing was different, it would have worked out. If I wasn't going through such a hard time at that time, then it would have worked out. If I had changed something about my physical appearance, it would have worked out. You know all the reasons that you tell yourself to stop yourself from believing the truth that is right in front of you. If that person were for you, they would be with you. If that person were for you, they would be with you. That should be your closure. That should be where the story ends. That should be where the sentence ends. There are no if, ors, or buts in this. It ends there. This person is not my person. This career was not for me. This friendship ran its course and it's over now. There's no, this person wasn't for me, but if I tried really hard at that time in this way, then it would have worked. There's no, oh, this friendship was the most amazing friendship of my life and it's not for me, but if I change the way I live my life, maybe they'll accept me in their circle again. Closure doesn't come with excuses or with hope that things could change. Closure is you closed the door and you didn't just close it, you locked it and you put another lock and another lock and another lock and another lock, and you tell yourself, I'm never going through that door again. And sometimes when people walk out of our life for any reason, or when an opportunity doesn't work out, and we have our closure, we have that firm belief that that just wasn't meant for me, and we close the door on that person, on that opportunity, on that friend, on that family member, on that something from the past that we really had hope one day would work. We close the door. Sometimes those people and those opportunities want to come back into our lives. And let me say something really controversial. A person who walked out of your life for all the right reasons, they weren't treating you properly, they weren't respecting you, they weren't healthy for you, or a career path that just drained all of you, that you weren't passionate about, or a friend who just constantly prioritized other people over you. They walked out and you locked the door behind them for all the valid reasons. The only time you should be okay with them entering back into your life is through another door. A door that has the truth, a door that comes with loyalty, a door that comes with honesty and transparency, a door that comes with real change, not just words and not just promises. When someone walks out of your life through the door that says betrayal, lies, backstabbing, toxicity, abuse, manipulation, taking everything out of you, don't ever let that person walk back into your life through the same door, because it's going to be the same story, and you're going to find yourself kicking them out of your life again, even if they're the ones who walked out, but you're going to find yourself pushing them out the same door. Let that door be bolted forever. If a person is meant to be back in your life, and if a certain career path is meant to now work for you at this time, If a certain friend is meant to now be someone in your inner circle, if that family member in the past who did really terrible things to you and treated you in a way that didn't make you feel like you were family, if any of those things or people come back into your life, it's definitely not through the door that they walked out of. There has to be a complete shift, a complete change that says, none of the things I did to you in the past are ever going to happen again. And I'm not just going to say it to you through words. I'm going to say it to you through action. I'm going to show you through my applications of all the words that I say to you. Like if I say, I'm going to be loyal to you as your romantic partner, I can say those words until I'm blue in the face. If my actions don't show that, then that can't be the truth. I can tell you as someone in your family, I'm never going to try to control you the way that I did in the past. Please, let's just have a relationship again. I can say that until I'm blue in the face. I'm no longer going to try to control you. But if my actions don't show that I trust your decisions for yourself, then I'm still the same person. I need you to remember that sometimes closure is eternal. And if you decide that it's not going to be eternal, it has to be a brand new story. It can't be, let's pick up where we left off. There is no picking up from betrayal. There is no picking up from manipulation. There's no picking up from abuse. There's no picking up from, I painted you as the worst person on the planet, and let's please pick up from there. No. You closed that book. You close that notebook, that journal, that story that you've been writing with that person, and you start a brand new one. This is a new person you're getting to know. This is a new passion of yours that you're getting into, and you're doing it on a foundation that says, I know who I am. I know what I'm never allowing back into my life. I know the doors I've closed. And I know the doors I've bolted shut that are never, ever, ever going to open up again. And I know the only doors I'm going to allow people into my life through. And when you approach everything in your life in that way, you'll very easily tell when the wrong people and opportunities are coming into your life because they don't align with this new set of values that you have. Someone who's coming into your life with the intention of betraying you isn't going to walk through a door of truth. Yes, they might cover themselves up with lies that convince you that they are a truthful person, that they are a loyal person, that they are a person of their word. But sooner or later, that mask is going to fall off. Sooner or later, all the lies that they've covered themselves up in are going to disappear, and you're going to be able to see them for who they are. But also, sooner or later, your own intuition is going to kick in and say, we felt this before, something's off. And now you are a person who no longer allows other people's truths to override yours. You are no longer somebody who's willing to listen to somebody's excuses about the way they treated you and say, oh, you know what, that makes sense. You are now somebody who says, I don't care that you were going through a hard time when you hurt me the way that you did. I don't care that you were going through a hard time when you chose to lie to me, when you chose to paint me in a way that doesn't resemble me. I don't care that you were going through a hard time, because going through a hard time doesn't give you the right to put somebody else through a hard time. I can understand that you were going through a difficult time and still say, I didn't deserve that from you, and I don't deserve that from anybody. If you're struggling right now with somebody who chose to walk away with something that didn't work out, and you're just like, I just want to know the reason. The reason doesn't matter. The truth is, if it was for you, it would be with you. Write that down somewhere. Let it be tattooed on your brain. If that person were for you, they would be with you. If that job were for you, it would be with you. If that friend was actually good for you, they would be in your life. If they were meant to be as part of your journey for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, they would be with you. That's your closure. The reason they turned out to be who they are doesn't matter. It doesn't take away from the pain of what they did to you. Stop asking why and look at what. Why opens up a multitude of possibilities. The what says, this person is not in my life right now. They actively chose to do something that would break the bond that is holding us together. That's my closure. End of story. It's time for words from me to you. Now, these words are going to be all about letting go and the struggle that comes with it, because I know with closure and with acceptance comes letting go. And it's really, really, really hard to just make that decision and think, I'm going to be so relieved when I let go of this person. But then you wake up the next morning and you're like, what just happened? And you feel like you're in so much pain. You're missing them, even though you know they weren't right for you. The aftermath of letting go is really painful to go through. So this is all about letting go. It's actually one of my favorite things that I've ever written, and I know you will love it. It's page 201 in Mind Platter. They say that at some point you just learn to let go. I must disagree. If it just takes one moment to let go, then you never really held on tightly enough to a dream, to a goal, to a place, to a person, to anything. I believe that you let go little by little. You let go a little, then hold back on, but with a little less force until you fully release yourself. And the tighter you hold on, the more force you let go with. The deeper you dive, the higher you'll fly. The closer you get, the further you'll pull away. The weaker you feel, the stronger you'll become. So do not be ashamed of your weaknesses. We all have them. You must learn to be kind to yourself. Never think that you are a bad person. Differentiate between your self-worth and your actions. To say that you are bad is different than saying that you made a mistake. You can't fix yourself, but you can fix a mistake. And remember, not one person on this earth is perfect. We all make mistakes. We all fall. We all have flaws. We just need to look within ourselves and treat ourselves as humans who are worthy of respect and hope. Do not give up on yourself. Get back up. Be brave. Be happy. Now, if you're listening to these words and you're thinking to yourself, but how do I just get to a point where because I've tried so hard to hold on to this person, because I've struggled so long to get to the point of closure, how do I just get myself to completely cut them off and stop dwelling on the past and tell myself if they were for me, they would be with me? How do I just do that? I've dug a hole for myself of trying really hard. I've portrayed myself to them as someone who's really not worthy. I've let myself down in front of them. How do I let go of all of that? You don't. You tell yourself, I held on as tightly as I did and I struggled as much as I did to get to the point of closure because they meant that much to me. Because I loved them that much. Because I invested so much of myself in them, and it's really hard to let go of an investment that you thought was going to lead you to these big rewards, and now all of a sudden it's like you just need to stop investing because this investment is a loss. Like, how do I just make sense of that? It's not about making sense of it. It's about making the decision to accept the truth as it is and stop trying to reverse it by holding on even tighter to it. And on the other side, it's to honor the parts of you that tried really hard to hold on because they were doing what they thought was in your best interest. They were trying to protect you from pain. They were trying to keep you in survival. And when you remind those parts of you that, I know you tried really hard to protect me, but we're at a point where we don't need protection anymore. We need acceptance. We need to see the truth for what it is. That if they were meant for us, they would be with us. It's time for Words That Found Me. Now, these words are by Jackie Wells Wonderland. And she says, if you really want closure, at some point, you have to shut the door. I think that's a perfect place to end this episode. I think it's the perfect place for you to remember the power that you have to accept that certain doors in your life need to be closed for absolutely ever and never looked at and never regretted and never pondered upon in a way that says, what if I open this door again? Sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is the hardest thing. And sometimes the hardest thing is closing the door on something or someone that you never, ever, ever, ever thought wouldn't be in your life anymore. If this episode helped you, I hope you can share it with someone that you think it will help. Leave your comments, your reviews, your ratings. It all helps the world know that this is something that they should listen to, that this work is valuable in some way, that it's healing in some way. I hope this episode helped you find healing beyond words. And until next time, have a wonderful day.